I still have absolutely no idea how to play all these strikers together at the same time. But luckily, we're still in all the cup competitions, so they all get a game anyway. Hello, welcome to Season 12, Episode 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have two cup games. We've got the FA Cup 5th round at home against Everton, and then the second leg of the first knockout round of the Europa League at home to Celtic. We lost the first leg 1-0. In fact, form hasn't been great since you were last with me. We haven't had another goal from Christian Arendt since he got 3 in 2 games in the last episode. We went and lost 1-0 away to Arsenal, top of the table Arsenal, so that's not too bad, and then beat Derby 3-0 at home thanks to a Modu Fall hat-trick. But we've not scored a goal in the last 2 games. We went away to Rotherham and drew 0-0, and then we had that 1-0 defeat away against Celtic. League position-wise, we're up to 5th, which is awesome, and hopefully something we can build on if we're not too distracted by these cup competitions. But it is very much about the cup competitions today. So home to Everton first, and then just 4 days later at home to Celtic. 2 massive games for really looking at how the rest of our season is going to turn out. So we need to do a little bit of rotation. So this is the game that we're using against Everton. I'm prioritising the Europa League over the FA Cup. 2 reasons really. We won the FA Cup last season, so I'm not as bothered about it this year, although we certainly won't object to winning it again. Secondly, Europa League is another route into the Champions League. We're 5th in the table, so there's an outside chance we could get into the Champions League through the league, but obviously another route in is by winning the Europa League, so that has to be a higher priority than the FA Cup, which has a prize of just another season in the Europa League. So, bit of a rotated side against Everton. We're bringing Ben Garrett in for a rare appearance in goal. A back four of Will Leach, Dane, Zabala and Lazaroff gives Kyle Walker-Peters the chance to have a little bit of a rest. Midfield of Cool, Chris and Teixeira, with Martin playing in behind Thomas and Arendt as our striking competition today. David Martin has spent most of this season injured. He was all right after he came in from Arsenal last season. Obviously, they spent an absolute fortune on him the season before, so would like to get something out of him. He's still young enough at 23 to turn into a real top quality player, but he can't really afford to miss too much more game time. He's played 2 games in almost a year, so we need to get him back playing some games again. So hopefully he'll have a good game today. I don't think we've played the Arendt and Thomas combination before. We have Modu Fall and Lacio on the bench, so plenty of options for if they don't perform together. But it does give Arendt a chance to play as the poacher again, which he hasn't been doing since Fall has been fit, because, Modu Fall's the man in possession. He's the world-class striker, according to all reports and whatnot. And straight away, the media are on me. Why have we left Modu Fall out? We're playing Celtic in a couple of days in a much more important game. Why have you opted for Christian Arendt as a replacement? Because he's Christian Arendt. If you had to replace Modu Fall, who would you... there's no one else in the world you'd pick ahead of Arendt. I couldn't care less about Leicester, and these pre-match conversations are getting longer and longer. I don't know who Jonas Judd is, and I certainly don't care about him. Right, hopefully we can go and pick up a nice win against Everton. Our form in the FA Cup in recent seasons has been awesome. We've obviously been at least as far as the semi-final for the last 2 seasons. It would be a shame to be knocked out at this early stage this year. Wow, okay, 4 minutes on the clock. Carlos Sabala is listening to me and is saying, yeah, I like it at Wembley too. Let's go back. So that's why he scored. I'm pretty sure that if all the players had microphones and stuff on them, I'm fairly certain that's what you would have just heard. Because I think that's Zabala's Argentinian accent I did there as well. I am a master of voices, as you now know. What's happening? Arendt's got the ball. He's running into the penalty area. Teixeira. He suddenly thinks he's only 30 again. Now Arendt's back in the side. So he's bursting through and getting a goal as well. I can't even remember the last time he played. But clearly everyone's so afraid of Arendt. And to be honest, I'm pretty afraid to see Arendt fall over, because usually when he falls over, he doesn't get back up again. But on that occasion, he did. He didn't need to. Teixeira had come through and scored a goal. 2-0 up after 15 minutes against a good side in Everton. I think Everton are 4th in the league. I need to have another look at the league table. But I vaguely remember playing them in the league not so long ago and struggling a bit. I don't think we beat them. So unless they're playing a massively rotated team today as well, I guess they've perhaps got Champions League to worry about. So it's probably one of those games where no one's really that bothered about it. Aaron with a chance to get in. He's gone very wide there. Crosses it for Leach. And Leach has scored that exact goal about 3 times in the last year and a half now. He has just got a good left-footed shot from the edge of the area. You can see him just coming in now. Aaron finds him brilliantly. And he just hits it first time. And, just side foots it into the top corner. That's our 20-year-old left-back doing that. The future's so bright at Ipswich. We're 4-0 up. I'm confused. Everton are a good team. We're 4-0 up after half an hour. This is unheard of in a live com. I can only assume now I've not pressed record. And I'm just going to have to tell you all about this. At least I can see the video cameras recording. So even if, for whatever reason, the match isn't, at least I might turn the camera around and point it at the screen. Just as proof that this is actually happening. Martin now to Thomas. I guess this is the advantage of squad rotation. We've got a lot of players inside who want to get into the team more regularly, so they're playing for their shirt. Aren't now. He still hasn't scored yet. Thomas has, though. It's 5-0. It's not even half time. Thomas has had a flat top by the looks of him in that photograph. Leach with a right-footed cross this time. Arendt's causing all sorts of problems. Gets himself another assist by putting it on a plate for Thomas to tuck in. Is that Thomas's first of the game? No, it's his. It's his first of the game. Arendt's got 2 assists, but still hasn't scored a goal yet, and we're 5-0 up. Martin now, can he score? This is getting silly. I mean, we all know Christian Arendt rules. If he starts a game, he does score in it. So it's gonna be at least 6-0 yet, and I don't think Everton will have any idea what's hitting. This was not in any of the scripts. I mean, to be honest, we've only had 2 clear-cut chances. We've scored 5 goals. We've only actually had 5 shots on target. Ben Garrett doesn't seem to understand that he's rubbish as well. Just made a brilliant point-blank save. Even he is up for it. What's happened? Have I loaded the wrong save? Look, I mean, we only need Lazarov to score, and that's our entire back 4 with a goal. And an old man who doesn't play anymore. Plus our 5th-choice striker. This isn't exactly... We're not exactly tearing them apart with rampant attacking play. They're just being poor. I think that's what's happening here. Their goalkeeper's having an absolute nightmare. We're going to score again here. Dane, 6-0. It's one of those games. This is mad. When's Arendt going to score? Is he going to... Surely. Are we going to be disappointed if he doesn't? 300 grand a week or whatever it'll be. I mean, that's 5 years' time. All the comments have gone mad about Aaron, and someone made a good point. I forget who it was. I am going to try and renegotiate his contract as soon as he'll let me and take the stupid 50% thing out. Hopefully, now he's here, if we can convince him to take 100 grand a week now. He's on 87 already. And make it 10% or 20% increase a year. Anything's better than having that stupid 50% thing on. Right, David Martin I might actually leave Martin on just for game time. I guess Arendt's the obvious one to bring off. We'll bring Fall on for the last 20 minutes just so that Arendt doesn't get injured. Who else is likely to play against Celtic and doesn't look very fit? I guess the 2 defenders. We haven't got a centre-back on the bench. What am I thinking? Lazarov's just coming back from injury, so we'll bring Fritscher on for him. There you go. We'll make those 2 changes. I probably should take Chris off at some point as well. He's having a very good game, but, he's Chris. He will get broken. Modu Falls just said, Christian Arendt, you were on for 70 minutes. I've been on for 30 seconds. It's 7-0 now, by the way. What a finish that was from Modu Full. He is playing out of his skin since Arendt is back. He is well aware that he was a panic buy replacement for Arendt 18 months ago and wants to make sure that he doesn't become a forgotten man, and he is just scoring lots and lots of goals. Right, we're going to bring Yusuf on for Chris. I don't know that we've ever had a 7-0 win before. We might be setting Ipswich records here. We've not even had we've had less than half the possession. We are actually mugging Everton in this game. This is one of the great injustices of world football. Right, Yusuf to Teixeira. Surely we're not going to make this 8-0. Fall is through, though. I mean, that was one of the better chances we've had, actually. Modu Fall in that position, you don't expect him to miss. This has been a much longer game than expected. I wasn't anticipating having to watch 7 replays. Cool with the cross. It must be full time now. Thomas, he's offside. I think that's your lot. And we have just beaten Everton 7-0. I need to clarify that Everton are a good team. Let's just check where they are in the league. I know that's an FA Cup game, but if we just go and look at the league, Everton are level on points with us in the league, and we just beat them 7-0. That's insane. Right, hopefully we've saved some goals for Celtic, because we need to go and win that one now as well. I want to keep these cup competitions alive. Right, this might be the biggest game of the season for us. Massively important. We're 1-0 down from the first leg. We're at home against Celtic. We should be capable of beating them. We've just stuffed Everton, for goodness sake. We've gone... I say... You know, I'm tempted to say we've gone full strength, but I don't really know what our first choice team is now, especially up front. Off camera, I've just actually genuinely tossed a coin because I don't know who to play out of Aaron and Fall. Fall came on, scored a goal, looked really lively against Everton. Aaron is, his morale is higher. He's got a better average rating over the last 5 games. They're the same player. I don't see how we play them together. I don't think we can drop Lacio, even though he's not in particularly good form. But he's just the link-up man. I don't know what to do. We'll do this and we'll swap them at half-time if need be. They're both injured so often. We're not going to be in this situation and having to make this decision much. Nuri's going to play in behind them. Johnny Vaughan isn't fit. I can't remember what's wrong with him this time. Where is he? He's become injury-prone as well. Sprained ankle. We might need to look at our physio/training situation over the summer because we seem to be picking up a lot of little niggly injuries. It might just be that the reason a club like Ipswich is able to sign these real top quality players is because they're a bit injury prone, and that's why they don't get a look in at the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc. Man United, we keep picking up players from. We're signing their injury prone rejects, I guess. That's why we need a lot of them. So in midfield, we've got Yusuf, Chris and Teixeira. Teixeira was fantastic against Everton. Hopefully he will be fantastic against Celtic as well. He's having a renaissance age. I mean, how old is he now? 33 years old. He's barely played for us this season. I mean, it says 14, but he's only actually started 4 games. But he played so well against Everton. And, you know, we ain't got many other options. They're all injured. I guess Fritscher would be the obvious one to come in, but I just have a feeling about Teixeira today. And then at the back, we're sticking with Will Leach. He was excellent. He was sort of first choice earlier in the season, and Walker Peters pushed him back out again. But yeah, we'll go with Leach today. Lazaroff on the other side. Obviously, it's got to be Zabala and Dane at centre back. And then Matt Lee returns in goal. I like the fact we've suddenly got a really good squad. We've got strength in depth. For the first time, really, in 12 seasons of this save, I'm having to make actual decisions, and it's not obvious who our best team is, and that's probably a good thing. It makes the game a bit harder, but it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. There you go, manager cliche. Are we playing cliche bingo today? Because that was a big one. Right, go on, let's get an early goal. There's another one for you. Tick that one off. Lacio's got us. We're level. We're 3 minutes into the tie. It's 1-1 on aggregate. The problem we need to be aware of, obviously, is Celtic are the away team. We didn't manage to get a goal up in Scotland. So, effectively, any goal Celtic score against us is worth double. So, although we're level early on, Lacio saying, yeah, too right you can't drop me, because I can do that. Let's see Aaron or Fall do that. Because I'm a giant Brazilian wonder kid who scores lots of headers and can pass quite well. Right. God, I'm full of impressions today. I did a perfect Zabala in the last match. That was a perfect Brazilian accent doing a Lacio. I am a man of 1,000 voices today. Right. What do we do now then? We're 1-0 up at half time, so it's effectively 0-0, but with the danger of if they score, it counts double, and we then have to score twice just to go ahead. I hate European football. Right, Modu Fall is going to be warming up like a crazy person all through this second half. He's going to be as tired as Aaron when they eventually swap over because of the amount of warm-ups I've got him doing. But I want him to be ready when he comes on. I'm not entirely sure whether he's going to come on at my usual 70-minute mark or maybe a little bit earlier. As we are at the moment, I'm leaning towards saving him for later in the match because we're heading for extra time as it stands at the moment, so we want him to be fresh for that. Obviously, if either team score a goal, We probably make that change almost immediately after that, because then extra time is not a possibility, and we want him on the pitch for as long as possible. So Teixeira finds Lazio. Arendt is in. Would Modo Fall have scored? That constant second guessing now. I need to sell one of them. I can't live in this world. Right, Arendt's just having a terrible game. I don't care. All that nonsense I was just saying. He's on a 6.3. Modo Fall comes on for the last half an hour. There you go. That's the joy of having them both at the club and both fully fit. Fall's going to come on and score now and say, look, you should have started me, moron. Please do that, Modu. I'll give you £1. I'll give you a 50% salary increase clause as well. Right, let's bring Fritscher on for Chris. It might seem like quite a negative change, but he just adds a little bit more muscle in the middle there, just in case they come and break on us, because we are going to be needing to commit men forward. Why can't we go and get a second goal? I'm genuinely terrified of Celtic going and scoring now. Final change. I think I'm going to bring David Martin on for Teixeira. And then do this. Just shuffle the midfield around a little bit more. And we'll do that. The other thing I like about bringing Fritscher on is if we do score again, we have the option of dropping him back to a holding midfield player then, which we're not going to do while we're still looking for a goal. I've probably made all my substitutions too early, haven't I? No, do not score now. Oh. Go on, Modu. Just whip it across. Martin should have scored there. Fall is in, but he's offside. But yeah, I think I've made my substitutions too early. Celtic are going to bring 3 on at full time and just be super fresh for extra time, aren't they? Oh well. I mean, I'm massively inexperienced at this level. This is my first ever European knockout tie. Why are they wasting time for a goal kick? Do they want extra time? This makes me think like they're afraid of us. Let's hope they're afraid of us. They should be afraid of us. We're a good team. How did we score 7 goals past Everton and we can't get a second against Celtic? I would say those teams are roughly on a level. I mean, Everton finished 4th last year. They're a Champions League team. If anything, they're surely a better team. Mind you, I suppose Celtic were a Champions League team as well. I imagine they got knocked out, and that's why they're here in the Europa League with us. Fall is in. Lazio is in. Oh, how did we not... Right, that's 2 massive chances we've had and missed now. Is it starting to feel like it's not our night? Nuri, can he do anything with it? He finds Martin, comes across to Leach, but doesn't make it all the way, and Celtic can break on us here, and Zabala needs to cover. He does, but he's got nowhere to pass it. Both our centre-backs are out in the left-back position, but Modu Fall doesn't care because he's going to give it to our actual left-back, who was out on the left wing, whips it in for Fall, and we are 2-0 up, 2-1 on aggregate. Obviously, a Celtic goal here still puts them in the lead, because it will count double, so we still, to be safe, need a third. Why didn't we score at Celtic? We've set ourselves up in a right pickle here. I can't afford to drop back and invite them into the game because a goal for them means they win. Away goals is a horrible rule. Who thought this up? Right. Nuri, he finds Fall. Out to Lazarov. Come on, let's have a Lazarov special. He cuts it inside to Nuri for some reason, but he's now back in an excellent position. And Modu Fall has scored again. Oh, why didn't we play him from the start? Right. So now if they score, now they've got to score twice. And then they'll be in the lead. Okay. I'm not going to change anything yet. We're going to go to half-time and extra time before we fiddle. And then we're dropping Fritscher back. Unless they score here. Oh, this is horrible. Right. Now we are going to drop Fritscher back. And we're going to go a little bit more defensive. And we're just going to try and hold on. Hopefully that's not going to invite him onto us too much. But I have to try and be a little bit more elegant and grown up with my tactics now. We're a European team. So you can be a half-back because that's worked before. Do we want a roaming playmaker in a system like this? In fact, we kind of want to go to this tactic. But do that. And then I guess that. Because Martin can't really play in midfield. Right, we don't want you to be a trequartista anymore. You can just be an attacking playmaker. And I'm going to make you just a central midfielder. I don't want anything snazzy or extravagant from you. You need to be a half-back. we're doing this. I don't see a problem with this at the moment. Obviously, you'll tell me in the comments what the problem with this was. But as it stands right now, I don't see it. Which means it's blindingly obvious to anyone who knows about tactics properly, I imagine. Oh, they're going to score, aren't they? They're going to score, they're going to score, they're going to score. Right, we've got the ball away. Martin hopefully puts Larsio in. If he can get it across, Fall will score again. He doesn't quite get on the end of it. Right, how soon do we go defensive? Right, 10 minutes from the end. We'll go defensive. We're going to waste time. We're going to try and play like a proper European team. I think I might even drop Martin back into the midfield. I know he doesn't like playing there. Zabala is in. Oh, that must be it now. 4-0. Why did we have to wait until extra time to do this? We've scored 11 goals on this episode without reply so far. This is mad. When have we ever had an 11-goal episode before? This must be the longest episode I've ever done. Right. I am going to drop Martin back into the midfield. Yeah, he can just do that. And we're just going to go contain now. We've got 5 minutes left. We just don't want to give them even a sniff of a chance of some hope. I don't know if we're really capable of closing a game down. Fritzsche, there you go. That's why he's playing defensive. Whew. We're through. And I apologise if I just blew on the microphone, but, you know, relief and all that. Right. I think the draw for the next round has already happened, isn't it? So, in theory, we already know who we're playing. So, alright, we're playing Lyon. So, let's have a look at the fixtures and try and work out when I'm going to do another episode. Right, it looks like all the cup games are bunched together again. I need you to let me know in the comments, like within an hour of this episode coming out, because I'll be recording the next one pretty much straight away. I need to know whether you're okay with all the episodes being cup games or whether you want to see us do something in the league. My thoughts are we probably do same thing again. I'll play the next 3 league games and the first leg against Lyon, and then the next episode will be the 6th round of the cup away against Palace and the second leg against Lyon, and then we see where we are from there. And if we're still in one or both of the cups at that point, we worry about showing a league match at some point after that. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. You know, 11 goals, that must be worth a like. In fact, that's worth telling a friend about it and trying to hook us some more subscribers in. You know, look, this episode, 11 goals. Go watch, go subscribe, tell your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And thank you very much for watching.